Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Adrian Reddix, and today I want to tell you about some tech resources or some resources I use to get back to zero. What does that mean, get back to zero? Well, 4 years ago, my life was pretty much in the drain. In 2016, I had a business where I started in 2014 where I did tech repair, mainly cell phones, computers, and any type of tech that people needed to repair. I did it. It was like March, February of 2016. I had to shut that down. Later that year, I signed papers for divorce. And the divorce, it was what it was. The business, that one still hurts a little bit. And then that whole summer, I was trying to get a job, and it was hard. One of my friends in the wrestling industry, he was a manager at a radio station, and he put me on a couple different some contract work. There wasn't a lot of money, but I was trying to do something. I just looked at what my life was in 2016, and I was like, I had to do something about it. And the thing I knew was tech, and I used all these resources to my advantage. And let's go over each one of them. The first one is online banking, specifically Simple. As I talked about in previous videos, I didn't have the best relationship with banks. I overdrafted, didn't have enough money in them, and at this point in my life, around 2016, my credit was down. It was low. We're talking like 400s. I had a bunch of just bad things financially as far as my interaction with financial institutions. And I just was like, I didn't have access to a bank account. In today's world, you need access to a bank account. So I went and did a Google search about, online banks, and I found Simple. And I was like, okay, let's go ahead and try it out and see. I'm like, there's no way they'll approve me because I have all this baggage. Now, your miles may vary, but when I did it, I had just probably the worst financial mess you could have, and I still was approved. Simple helped me get back to normalcy as far as having a bank. Now, they don't have any physical locations, so that's a drawback, but it's also a plus because instead of spending money on buildings and rent and a bunch of people, they can pass that savings on to you. When I first started, Simple had a 2.2 percentage on the savings account, which is fantastic because I have a account now at a local bank, and the savings is only 0.25. So it now, since all the stuff that's going on, the interest rate is 1.39%. But still, I mean, it's still more than average. The reason why Simple is good because, of course, they have an app, but the two main things is in a video, I'll go ahead and post it here. In a video I did a couple weeks ago, I talked about two different apps called Mint and Digit. And what Mint it was a budget app, and what Digit was a savings app. So Simple does both of those things for free. So you can set it up in Simple to have different goals, and you'll tell it, I don't know, I want to have a goal where I don't eat myself to death, by going out to fast food. Not even fast food, it's a lot of just, oh, is this a rotisserie chicken? Can I eat it all? I'll try. You can set goals in this app by weekly or every day or when to take the money out, and it'll track and it'll automatically save for you so you don't have to think about it. Also, it has a little budgeting feature where you can see where you spent your money, adjust for categories so you're not just blindly spending money and you don't realize what you're doing until the end of the month when you get the statement. But Simple isn't the only bank. You have banks like Ally, and to me, the bank with the funniest name, and it's called Redneck Bank. Yep, there's a bank. I'll put it up here. It's called Redneck Bank, and it has like a horse, and it's a weird name, but they have some really great savings percentages. So, and checking. So, I mean, it's a legit bank. It's a weird name, but it's a legit bank. And the next thing is social media. How did social media get you back to zero? Just like everything else in life, and social media, especially YouTube and Twitter, it's how you use it. So you can use it for drama. You can use it for comedy. You can use it for anything you wanted to use it for, but you got to have the mindset to what you want to use it for. And I think in 2016, my mindset was to try to improve my life and my family's life. So what I did was, and a lot of people call it, I went to YouTube University and started learning things that I wasn't sure of. I've been involved in tech for all my life. I think I first took one apart. It was like 96, 97. I was like 10, 11 years old. I took it all apart, and my mom was like, you better put it back together. And I figured out, she had that threatening look like, you better figure this out and put this gun back together. We're going to have problems. Figured it out, put everything back together. But that's neither here nor there. I went on YouTube and started learning about networking because networking wasn't my thing. I was a hardware guy. I could put things together. Hardware was me. Learn more about IT security, cybersecurity. I looked at people like Professor Messer, Mike Myers, not the Halloween Mike Myers. This is, he has a cowboy hat, I guess, on. He's a pretty cool guy. Also, just like I told you, been on this personal finance thing. So I watch people like people you've heard me talk about, Graham Stephan, Our Rich Journey, Investment Joy, all those people. But YouTube and social media and Twitter can be used for anything you want. You can learn anything you need from YouTube University and the Twitterverse. But it all depends on how you approach it and your mindset. The third thing is online school. I have a traditional degree, and it's from a 4-year HBCU in the middle of nowhere, Mississippi. Go Braves. Also spent a semester at a school down the road, but we're not going to talk about them. Got my degree. It was in history. Let me tell you that with a history degree, you could do a bunch of different jobs. They tell you can be a curator, or you can be a researcher, or you can teach, or you can do a number of things with this history degree. What they don't tell you is there's a vast amount of things you can do, but the actual available jobs aren't there. This history degree didn't do me any good. I love the networking I got when I went to college. I love the course itself. It really broadened the way I think and made me grow in concepts I didn't know I needed to grow in. But as far as jobs, it wasn't great. In 2016, I decided to go back to school and go to school online, specifically my local community college. They had started offering completely online degrees, so I decided to get a cybersecurity information assurance associates, and it was 100% online. Didn't have to step foot into a classroom at all. So back when I was in school, having an online degree was something people looked down on because they didn't think it was the same. They didn't think it was as rigorous as it could be. When I tell you that that is not the case, that is not the case. I think one of the hardest things to do is like those hands-on classes like chemistry, but I had a friend who did her whole chemistry course at home they had to buy a kit, and it was all done. Just took some pictures, sent it in to your teacher, and she graded it. So the validity of online degrees isn't of a question anymore because the technology is so good and academia has caught up with technology, and now you can have a fulfilling career and a fulfilling education online. You don't have to step in front of a classroom because at this time, I didn't have enough money for gas to go back and forth to school every day because I was out there trying to make money, had 2 kids, just trying to make it. So I couldn't afford to go back and forth. So I could afford the $40 I had for internet, and I already had a couple computers, and I got my degree 100% online. It was awesome. Online school is a great resource you can have to advance your career and advance your learning. The next one is podcasts. Why would podcasts be a resource you use to get back out of the hole? It's the same concept as YouTube University and Twitter. Podcasts have a variety of things you can do. You can learn about cooking, like Splendid Table. You can learn about art with Art Talk. You can learn about business with 4 goats and a mic. You can learn about news. One of my favorite news things is Marketplace. So it has this vast variety of things you can learn. But like social media, it's all about what mindset you have. So to me, podcasts help transform here. YouTube University and Twitter also did that, but as far as hearing and reaffirming things that I was trying or doing or believing, podcasts helped shore me up as a better person by hearing people say, hey, do this, do that, try this, try that. And that opened my world up to bigger and better things. Podcasts, great resource. And the last thing is online courses, specifically Udemy. Udemy is a website where you pay very low cost. Like it's average somewhere around like $5 to $10 you pay for courses, and you can learn specific things. Now, it's not like online learning where you get a degree, and anybody that tells you that their Udemy course is just as good as an online degree, don't take that course. But you can do anything from, like, I was having problems with learning networking. So I bought the $10 course from Mike Myers and learned networking. He broke it down in an easy to use thing, but not just IT. You can do cooking. You can do better drone flying. You can do photography, or you can do, I want to learn how to draw. So I'm going to teach you how to draw, and it's for a low cost. So don't get always caught up on free. I know I love free, but don't get always caught up on free just because something costs a little money. Do your research, spend money that's going to help invest in you to make you a better person. That's it. No bonus today. Those are the resources I use to get back to zero, climb myself out of the hole to go and try to get to my goals at 100%. Hope you guys like this kind of content. If you did, hit the like button. If you like this channel, please consider subscribing to it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.